The evening rush in Absalom's Coins district sees one of its many taverns almost full to bursting with patrons expecting to be fed and entertained. In the tavern's pantry, a 12-year-old boy is changing into a gaudy tunic of purple velvet adorned with silver buttons. Tired, sunken eyes peer out beneath a mop of long, sandy hair. Without warning, the pantry door opens. Light and raucous noise spill in, illuminating the boy's face, which is contorted in displeasure.
It's itchy.
The boy's mother stands silhouetted in the doorway, a thin-faced woman set with worry lines and pursed lips. She rolls her eyes, not in the mood for excuses.
I don't want to hear it, Malachi. Hurry up! You're on stage in 10 minutes. Then we've got to get straight across Absalom.
What for?
The producers at the Arsenium. You know how much persuading it took. But they've agreed to give us a trial performance in the review tonight. You'll be debuting the guitar to an audience of 3,000 of Absalom's finest. You're not on until the second act, so Desna willing, we'll make it in time. There'll be no time to change, so you've got to wear this, and then you've got to go...
Please, I'm exhausted. I've performed every night this month. Can't we just take one night off?
A flicker of rage dances in her eyes for barely a moment before vanishing. She grabs his shoulders firmly, trying desperately to mold her face into an expression of encouragement.
This is the chance you've been waiting your whole life for, Malachi. You're destined for greatness. I know it in my bones. And if there's one thing Karen Bordello trusts, it's the feeling in these old bones of mine. From Karen's pocket, she produces a well-thumbed card. The ink is smudged in places, faded from years of wear, but what it depicts is clearly visible. An imposing puppet, shaped to look like a long dragon, protrudes through the scarlet curtains of a theatre stage. It faces a puppet knight who stands bravely before the dragon, wielding a longsword. It is unmistakably a Harrow card. Her voice softens slightly. I've carried this card since the day I learned you was in my belly. Found it on the cobbles right outside the temple. There's no such thing as coincidence, my boy. Arrow ain't just superstition, it's a sign from Aradin himself. This is the theatre card. It means you're destined to do great things. Destined to be famous, and I, for one, won't be leaving fate to chance. So stop complaining and get dressed. Malachi knows better than to argue. If she didn't look half crazed with delusion, he might almost be convinced by her fantasies. He continues dressing, stands, and begrudgingly walks to the tavern stage. Later that night, we see Malachi and his mother charging briskly through the streets of Absalom. It isn't long before the wind and rain begin to fall in a thick deluge, but Karen's pace is relentless. Pick your feet up, boy!
Pushing through utter exhaustion, a young Malachi drives himself onwards, barely registering the cold, soaking rain.
Just around the next corner, come on, hurry up!
Sheltering under a canopy outside the stage door, his mother wheels round on him.
Your costume is ruined! If I didn't have to slow down for you, we would have beaten the rain. Let's at least get your face dried.
She whips out a handkerchief, accidentally pulling the old Harrow card with it. The wind, angry and insistent, slices through the alley, and before the card hits the ground, it's snatched up high into the air. Karen Bordello's eyes widen as she sees it dance away.
After it!
Before Malachi can think, his legs are already moving at the shouted command. They sprint through the downpour. Karen's eyes are focused on the card's colourful patterns, twisting and turning in the tempest of Gosra's storm. The pair give chase, but the card stays firmly out of reach. By now, the bustling streets have melted into narrow alleys of boarded-up windows, lopsided dwellings, and unsavoury hovels. Inexplicably, the card stops in mid-air before diving downwards and into the outstretched hand of a hooded, figure. Karen and Malachi halt suddenly.
Oi, that's ours. Give it back.
The face of the figure masked by shadow says nothing but extends a finger, beckoning the pair to follow as she disappears through a slanted wooden door of a nearby building. All thoughts of Malachi's scheduled performance have been washed away by the tempest. Acrid smells of burning incense and brewing potions drift out of the open doorway. Without even exchanging glances, Malachi and his mother step inside a dank apothecary, the door slamming shut behind them by unseen hands. A deep voice speaks from behind the hooded cloak.
I have been expecting you, Malachi. Let us read your harrow.
Welcome back to episode 22 of Describe Your Kill! Hello, everybody!
Hello!
Ahoy, hoy.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Little glimpse into the backstory of the beloved Malachi Bordello and our first introduction.
Ooh, is he new?
To the one, the only, Karen Bordello.
I love that Karen is canon now.
Karen
I've
is
heard so
canon.
much about her.
Thank you for that, Chris. You can have a hero point. Any kind of backstory gets a hero point. How is everybody doing this evening?
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Quite the week for Describe Your Kill. If you're following us on the Discord, which you can find at describeyourkill.com, DYK has now been listed as a recommended podcast on the Glass Cannon subreddit. So yes, a very exciting week for us, and we have got some really exciting things to come. So tune in early March, and you might hear about a little announcement that we have. But we shall save that for now, and I think it's about time that we got stuck into playing the Stolen Fate Adventure Path. What say you, gentlemen?
Yes, please.
Let's go.
Now, have you read the session notes this week, Kimone?
Yes.
Have you?
Forced to.
Just to make sure that I don't forget anything, I've looked at them right before I joined this call. And I still don't feel like I am prepared because you asked me like you're going to ask me some sort of trick question now.
There is a quiz.
Yeah, there is a quiz, exactly. A good session last week. We've claimed the trumpet card, third card from these 6 portals within Harrow Heart. I will tell you this, the amount of prep for tonight's session has been substantial.
Oh
dear.
We should have warned you we're not going through the
Yeah.
next portal. We're
Yeah,
going to
now
one at the far end.
We're going to go right to left now.
Breakfast. And
No!
The portal doesn't seem to open.
Milton and Stilton are blocking the other 2 entrances.
Also, I would like
fridge.
to
Lock him in the fridge.
I'd like to respec Lupin as a Isoki barbarian.
That won't be a problem, will it?
18 weeks of downtime about to commence. Love it. I don't know if you saw the Tomb Raider remastered editions came out this week, 1, 2, and 3. And I was listening to another podcast, the IGN UK podcast, and they were talking about how Tomb Raider itself, not a fine game, but the controls are not particularly friendly for a modern audience. So they said the 2 things you need to experience is seeing the T-Rex in the basement and locking the butler in the freezer.
Yeah.
So, way ahead of you. Way ahead of you. At the end of last session, Malachi had the new trumpet card in his hand and epitomized it, releasing, or manifesting, I should say, a troop of trumpet-wielding heralds. And with a resounding fanfare, ascend the battlements of Harrow Heart. What I did not tell you is that they have an extra benefit. Would you like to know what that is?
Yes, please.
Of course.
Yes.
They summon an army of gibbering mouthers, don't they?
You're
excited about it.
Malachi is never going to leave the Harrow Court.
That's such a horrible image of Malachi with a gibbering mouth.
You just hear a zipper.
He He's going to multi-class into druid so he can have a familiar.
Right, guys, see you in 19 weeks.
Shivering Mouser.
Disgusting. No, but the trumpet's epitome is these heralds taking up position on the battlements. And also, they know the formulas for all manner of magical instruments, including horns of blasting, horns of fog, and maestro instruments, and can teach these formulas to the PCs.
Excuse me, is there really an item named the Horn of Blasting?
Yes.
I was just going to say, yeah. Do they know any instruments other than horns?
Yes, the horn of blasting is a... Go on.
I'm not sure I want Malachi waving his horn around at any point.
Can I have a horn of blasting, please?
Level 9 item. Horn of blasting is a bright brass trumpet. Yes. Horn of fog. Any kind of instrument or weapon that's involving sonic, the heralds can teach the formula. And of course, Lupin Malice is our resident magical crafter.
Exactly, and he will not be engaging in any of that.
Yeah. Woo!
You could maybe hold them ransom or something, Jason.
Yeah.
So I quite like the idea that Malachi's just running around Harrowheart with it and setting it off outside Stilton's chambers.
Yeah, just a toddler with an air horn or something.
And of course, that wasn't the only thing that happened last week. We had Wilhelm with his naming ceremony, naming his trusty rapier, recently returned, of course, Sidisarax. So, gentlemen, let us begin today. It is quite late. We didn't rest at the end of last session. So the troop has been manifested. Wilhelm's weapon is named. I'm going to hand it back over to you.
I mean, I think the first order of business is probably to rest. As thrilling as and dynamic a start to an episode as it is, it would be rather silly not to now head off to get a good night's rest.
I think we were talking about last time getting to bed and then getting up early and heading kind of straight out, weren't we, to the next portal?
Okay, so if you want, I can just hand wave a little bit of the evening stuff unless anybody wants to have a conversation with somebody else or take their armor off in front of them or anything like that. Just throwing it out there. If that's the case, then fine. No,
Milton,
okay.
would you help me with these straps, please? Sire. Yes, Groldo can watch.
I've been waiting for this moment, sire, for a long time.
Oh, no.
You were always my favourite. Stilton, not so much.
I thought you would
Lupin
never
takes
ask,
off his
sire.
shoes.
Please.
Get out your bingo cards, guys. This night's gonna be fun.
Did we see that Lupin's feet are actually super furry? Is that what we see?
He's actually
Plot
half
twist.
halfling.
Yeah, he's got hobbit feet.
He's not cut his toenails in 40 years.
Curling.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Is
Is that why your movement speed is so low?
Yeah, it's the only. He actually gets a bonus to armor when he takes off his shoes and wears sandals. His toenails are that nasty.
He keeps
You gain
when
an
they- when-
attack of 1d4 slashing damage.
And when they do fall off, he keeps them in a little jar and he looks around and goes, "I'm a collector, don't you know?"
Yeah, he puts them in a little bag with some hair and gives them to Aaron.
It's a very valid bonus.
That's not how I thought tonight's episode would start. So okay, right. So no one has intimated that they want to have intimate moments. So therefore, we shall hand wave. It's a new day. It's another card from the deck of destiny. I've actually lost track of how many you've got now, but it's starting to build up. Malachi, how many have you got in your possession?
I think we have 90.
14.
But how many of them actually real?
3.
3. Okay. How many has Lupin got?
Lupin has 2.
And Wilhelm?
Also 2.
And Aaron?
2.
Okay, so yes. Come on.
I'm winning.
Good math.
Yes.
He's winning at Pathfinder.
My New Year's resolution. Oh no, that's winning doesn't mean good. Right, okay.
Yeah, you weren't even planning on being good. You were planning on not sucking.
Okay, okay.
The bar is quite low.
I think I've done. Okay. I've done quite well not to suck.
So, of course, that wasn't the only artifact you picked up last week. Aaron is now the proud owner of a wondrous figurine elephant.
He has a
Claude,
name.
the infernal elephant.
Claude.
I'm just hoping no one picks up the Speak with Animals spell, because I do not.
Well, now we have to.
Claude
Literally
sounds-
got 12 scrolls. Actually, I could craft it for free.
Right. Should note to GM self not to put ideas into the pieces to delay this adventure anymore.
Any further?
No more fun items. Just a quick little note.
All right, so you go to bed having retrieved the trumpet and saving, for now, the residents of Vudra, where you met Arasish and Japalipul. You rest uneventfully. Sweet dreams are going to allow you all to have full hit points. Your spell slots are refreshed. And it is a new day in Harrow Heart. Can we skip the breakfast?
Yes. You were the one last week. It was.
I admittedly did bring Milton out for a chat, which I shouldn't have done. I just wanted him involved. He's like, I've not been on for 3 or 4 episodes. I need to. He's more like,
Contractually obliged.
so you need to talk about my contract and the stipulations.
I love how in almost any other TTRPG, people will be going, "Oh, railroading GMs are a terrible thing. And just in this one, I can imagine people sitting there going, for fuck's sake, come on, GM, get them back on track, please.
Will you please stop pissing about?
How do they eat breakfast 3 times a day? What's going on?
Oh, no. If one mundane is listening, I'll tell you now, Milton doesn't exist in the AP. He's been put in by me just to
facilitate breakfast.
So, yeah, there you go.
Incredible.
Okay, so it is a new day in Harrow Heart. Yeah, over to you.
Guys, did you notice Milton was acting very strange last night? Do you think he was just tired, or should we check up on him?
I don't think we should check up on him.
You know what? I've had a spontaneous change of mind. Just no reason. I think we should get on with the story.
Yes.
Yes.
So did anyone want to do anything before any logistical things like supplies or shopping or anything like that we need specifically, or is it I'm good to go?
I know we wanted to get a move on, but yeah, sure, let's go shopping.
No, I just didn't know if there's anything like you know, if we're out of potions or consumables, do we need to do any of that?
I wouldn't hate another healing potion, but probably not something I need to run away and get. If others have got, I've got 2, but if others have got spares, then I'll be fine.
I've
For
also
the sake of keeping things
have
moving.
I've got plenty. I can give you a couple.
Cool. Okay, that's fine. We'll just keep things moving. If I need to use the ones I've got, and then we'll sort them out later.
I'll just hand one to you now. There we
Okay,
go.
cool. Thank you.
Any bags of hair being exchanged?
Yeah, I will give my bag of hair to Wilhelm.
Thank you
Just sort of
again.
holding this
Toenails.
sort of slightly festering bag. Is anyone?
My belt feels empty without the random hairs hanging from it.
In my mind, it's like like a lot of hair, but I think mechanically
It's
it's
a
meant to be
sack.
just
It's a few hairs,
like
yeah.
it's just like literally a few offcuts, whatever. In my mind, it's like when you've been to the barber and you look down, it's that kind of that amount has been collated.
Yeah.
Everyone
Aaron,
just
where did you
keeps
pull all of that from?
Manifesting hair everywhere.
Hair on spoke point.
Oh, no.
Whoa!
Boo.
No, I like it.
Boo. Don't boo me, I'm right.
No shame here. If you were trying to shame someone for puns, you've come to the wrong place.
Okay.
3 days later, our heroes are stood outside the portal, still debating the merits of that
How
pun.
much hair is too
Wait,
much hair?
which one was the next portal? The intelligence one. The suit of what was it?
Arch
Not
of
keys,
tomes or books, if you like.
Tomes. Yes.
Yeah. So you would know from previous investigations that through this portal should lead you to somewhere in the vicinity, yes, of the snake bite.
And stepping up to this portal, do we get a slight vision of what lies beyond?
You do. The mists of this fourth portal on the north wall of the Grand Hall of Harrow Heart. You gaze what appears to be a 70-foot wide jungle clearing in a dense tropical jungle. If you would like to roll a nature check, it might help you to pinpoint a location.
Elwood.
29 for Malachi.
Ooh, 34.
I'm just gonna throw in my natural 1 here.
Oh, an actual 1 for Wilhelm, lovely.
And a natural 6 for 23 for Lupin.
The only one of you that knows roughly where this is Aaron Spoke Point with a 34. It's a DC 30 nature check. And looking through, the plant life that you see, Aaron, is common to the southern reaches of the T-Yorn Shore region. And that this region is likely in the nation of Naga.
I imagine that Aaron, from where he was raised, had access to kind of great libraries and rare encyclopedias and things like that. And he kind of relays this to the group. And does he know anything about this place other than, I recognize that kind of plant life and foliage, and it's probably this place, but does he know anything about it?
So that was going to probably be a society check there on that. You can give yourself a +2 for that, Aaron, for passing that check. And if anyone else wants to roll society, they can do.
Natural 20. I
Someone
remember the exact casting.
Off.
Someone's been
wrote
in the
it.
GM guide. Do you want me just to give you the card and we move on? Is that...
Yeah, we reach through and grab it.
So I'm not going to go too far into T-Yorn Shore. And actually, I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but I'm sure the Discord will tell me, Paizo is soon to release a book which has far more detail on this region. Ramon's nodding his head.
Think so, yes.
Okay.
What do you want me to say?
Just a yes would have been nice.
I don't work at Paizo. What am I supposed
Not
to say?
yet. You don't.
That's just a lack of ambition on your part, isn't it?
Yeah.
T-Yorn Shore, yeah. So they're going to be doing a lot more information about this. I get the impression it's kind of their...
It's kind of their Japan setting.
Yeah, kind of their Japan setting,
Yeah.
Chinese setting. I don't want to culturally appropriate anything there, but it's definitely elements of that. But this plant life that you see is common to the southern regions of T-Yorn Shore. And T-Yorn Shore's southern regions, the primary inhabitants are reptilian humanoids called Nagaji. And these people are loyal to the Nagas who rule the land in an Ophidian matriarchy.
They're the snake people, aren't they?
Snake
Oh, snake. Snake,
people.
yeah. Cool.
Time to go back and buy some antidotes, gentlemen.
Okay.
That might be worth thinking about, actually.
Snakes. Why has it gotta be snakes?
So yeah, this is leading, as far as Aaron can tell, to Naga within the T-Yorn Shore region.
While the group are discussing that, Lupin is mechanically, is I suppose technically crafting the talismans, but I would probably say more thematically is rooting through various pockets and searching for bits and pieces, and he comes out with 2 talismans, and the first one is an opal, a large gem sort of hanging from a necklace, and he tosses it over to Wilhelm.
What is this?
This is it's a mesmerizing opal. You can use it when making a deception check. You can't have rolled yet, but you can use it when making a deception check. And let's say if we were, talking about degrees of success, is if it was just a regular success, it might make it a better success. You could even call it a critical success.
Yeah, let's say, for example, I need to be a 10 out of 20 at something to succeed. This would effectively be like I would be a 20 out of 20 on that.
Yes, very much so.
That seems very useful and very, very realistic of an item.
Absolutely. And he hands that across.
Looks very pretty as well.
Yes, it matches your eyes.
Aaron glares at Lupin.
Lupin wiggles his toes suggestively.
You see the toenails.
You just hear clicking.
So that's a mesmerizing opal that goes to Wilhelm. This is part of your daily preparations of talismans or similar, right?
And then the second piece is a small slip of paper you probably recognise by now as a fulu. Although this is not the one of the stoic ox.
Hey! I think you've said that wrong, Jason.
Yeah. No, do you know what? Fuck it. It's the stoic ox. I've decided it's the stoic ox.
Yes.
You don't get to decide. It doesn't mean what you think it means.
No.
It's a different
and that
thing.
ox's name?
Yeah. It's the ox's name. It's called the stoic. Yeah.
The stoic.
Stoic the ox.
How dare you decide what that ox's name is?
Stoic, the stoic ox. I like it.
Exactly, yeah. We are going to get nothing done this session.
Prep so much. Come on, let's go.
Yes. This Fulu is the Venomous Cure Fulu. And Lupin hands this to Aaron, our resident squishy wizard. And the Venomous Cure Fulu gives a +2 status bonus to saving throws against venoms.
Nice. Thank you very much.
And Malachi just stands there with his hands open.
Yeah. You've got 3 hero cards, fuck you.
Luke shakes his hand.
Please, sir, can I have
Just
some
hands
more?
him the bag of toenails.
What about me?
Okay, so this time for Lupin, we have the mesmerizing opal and we have the venomous cure Fulu that have been given out.
And finally, just before going through the portal,
Oh my
as
god.
Aaron likes to do, he pulls out the carnival card and just wants to see if there's any kind of premonition he can gain and whether there's a person who can be trusted on the other side of that portal.
Aaron, as you stare into the carnival and use its activation, you again find yourself in this strange carnival. As you walk through the stalls and stands, you see a snake charmer performing in a corner. As you approach, the snake charmer is holding a musical instrument, and as it plays its unusual song, a snake cobra ascends from a wicker basket on the floor. But as you look, you notice that something isn't quite right, because when you look at the charmer, you see that they have the face of a snake. But when you look at the snake, you see it has the face of a human. I shall roll my d20.
You could tell you prepped this one.
Shut up, Kamui.
There's nothing wrong with it, that's just Snaky Joe.
It's all off the cuff. I have rolled my secret DC6 flat check, and the result for whether or not this person can be trusted is neither.
Oh.
Ooh.
So, maybe not.
Right, fuck it. Let's jump through some portals.
Let's go.
Before we go in there, guys.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't. This big sky card. I'm very curious
I need
about.
to go to the toilet real bit. No,
It's something that's not talked about in TTRPGs, which is a good thing, and I don't want to. Actually, I'm going to be quiet. But
why do you start things like this?
No.
Why do you do this?
It's like
Always.
Star Trek. Where do they go?
Isn't that just our daily preparations?
In Star Trek, I could be wrong, but when they go through the
Transporter.
transporter, that's the word, yeah. Apparently, that when the matter of the human or whatever creature is being transported is rearranged, it actually goes through a kind of waste removal process. So if there is waste matter in your body when you're transporting, that gets removed as part of the transporter process.
How invasive.
Already brought the foot people into things last week. Do we really want to bring in the Star Trek nerds? The foot people I can live with, but the Star Trek nerds? Ooh.
Jason, Starfinder 2E is launching later this year. We need the sci-fi nerds.
I love Star Trek. I thought that was a cool fact.
Is that the origin of the phrase captain's log?
Hero
That was
point
good.
for
That'll do.
Jason.
That's good. Yeah.
You can have a hero point. Oh, you fuckers. Let's
Very
please.
good. Very good.
So good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And they're all dated as well. Star dated.
Oh my god, amazing.
You can have Chris. You can have one as well. That's good. That's really good. All right. So you're outside the fourth portal. You roughly know where it goes. What do you do?
Aaron, you told us something about a snake charmer and a snake. I just wanted to clarify to everyone, even if Aaron is not sure about trusting or mistrusting anyone, I would strongly suggest not trusting anyone in there. So far, the cards have been placed with... They seem to carry meaning. And that meaning seems to matter most of the time. And I am familiar with the snake bite, and it means nothing good.
We should also be aware of the story from Avasish, is the others that appeared to be hunting the cards, and that appeared to attack without remorse. We should certainly consider the potential that they may continue to be hunting, and bearing in mind the number of cards we carry, that we may increasingly be becoming a target ourselves.
We might be walking into a trap here. This card has a lot of connotations of betrayal and of poisoning virtuous minds, and it's nothing good.
But no, you're right, and I think what's alarming me is just how quickly they seem to be able to find the cards. They're almost like they're one step ahead of us.
My fear is that they know they are ahead of us and that they might plan an ambush.
Well, as long as we step through this portal and don't step into the middle of a battle where one side needs our help, then it'll be a refreshing change.
Yes, let's see.
Okay, so I think, are we all ready?
Yeah.
Shall
Yes.
we all order? Let's get our weapons out ready, just in case. Let's
Yes.
get our weapons out, I
Yeah,
reckon.
yeah.
Yep.
I've got my mind ready. I've got my songs ready.
Weapons drawn, Kitar armed, bags of hair, and fulus and talismans exchanged. You all step through the fourth portal.
Yes!
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, let's go.
You step through the fourth portal under the suit of tomes. Ready for a new map?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Oh,
They don't look friendly.
As you step through the portal, you immediately feel sweltering heat as you stand within a tropical jungle clearing. This clearing is ringed with faintly glowing rice plants, placed in a circle around the outer rim of this space. The jungle beyond is dense and thick. There is a heavy smell of vegetation in the air, and you can clearly hear jungle insects as they buzz and flit around you. Across the clearing, you see 5 humanoid figures with serpentine heads, sharpened sickles tied to their waistbands, standing around 2 of these rice plants. They appear to be performing some kind of ritual as magic energy ebbs and flows from their scaled hands. They don't seem to have immediately noticed you.
If no one else has said anything, because I've waited long enough now, let's. Wilhelm, after stepping through and seeing these rather menacing-looking creatures, he immediately kind of pulls the others with him into the bushes right behind him.
You willingly get pulled by Wilhelm into
Yes.
the surrounding jungle.
Yes.
Yes.
1,000 times yes.
nature check.
Everybody roll perception checks.
Yeah, it turns out he's pulled us into a giant snake plant or something. Oh dear,
We're all gonna
natural
die now.
4.
Natural 9.
That's a 31 total.
A 3 for 23.
Everyone except Malachi spots these creatures, these humanoid, green-skinned creatures with serpentine heads. I'll show you the artwork of them. Matty, would you like to explain?
Yeah, they kind of look like humanoid lizards, but they're much more snake-like in appearance because they've got these really elongated mouths with sharp pointed teeth and a snake's forked tongue, and their hands extend into long fingered claws, and they're kind of dancing magic around, aren't they, between their palms.
They are
really good thighs too.
Yeah.
Powerful thighs. They just be on gladiators.
Yes. Yeah.
Look at the toenails.
Enough.
No.
So on the artwork, between their hands is this green energy magic that's flowing, and you can see this same magic that is flowing into these rice plants that are placed at even intervals around this jungle clearing that you are in. The width of the clearing, it's about 50 foot square, but in a circular shape, and you have dived back to the northeast. Sorry, you've gone to the northwest, and they're on the southeast of this place. And you can see the magic from their hands, this green magical energy, is pouring into these rice plants.
Can we see what effect the magic is having on these rice plants, if any?
You can't see particularly exactly what it's doing, but you can see they're hunched round these plants. And these are medium-sized creatures, but they're still quite tall. They're on the higher end of the medium bracket, I guess. And they appear fully focused on these plants. And you occasionally, through the jungle sounds, hear this murmuring of incantations and words. There is clearly some kind of magic at play here.
Am I able to identify magic?
I don't know.
See, it's a skill action. It takes 10 minutes if we were sat in the foliage just observing them, but I'm not sure if that's something I'm able to...
10 minutes is a lot.
Yeah.
Craig's trying to work out if it's actually a spell they're casting, or what spell it is.
Shut up, Jason. Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll me. Let's have some fun with it. So, why don't you give me? Yeah, it's going to be a nature check for this one.
Okay, so I'll roll that as a secret check.
Anyone else want to roll it?
Yeah, I'll have a go.
Wilhelm wouldn't know.
Yeah, neither would Malachi with a natural one for 15.
No, and Aaron doesn't know. But Lupin, you don't exactly know what it is, but it appears to be nature-based, and the magic that they're putting in doesn't... I can't really tell you if it's aligned with anything, but they seem to be helping the plants, and as they stand there and you watch for 10 minutes as they're pouring this magic into these plants, nothing changes in the 10 minutes. They're all very, very focused in. You see that these plants are maybe not glowing quite as much as the ones that are near to your position, ringing this jungle clearing. But as they spend these minutes infusing this magic, the plant's glow is getting slightly brighter by the minute.
So Lupin sort of turns to the others and relays that and says, we should not prejudge based on appearances. It's entirely possible we may have just stumbled across something as innocent as some farmers.
I do prejudge on hero cards, though.
Yes, I understand that, but we should also we should also consider that perhaps the entirety of our journey through this portal may not be shaped by our very first encounter.
It has so far.
Yes, I'm sure they'll end up fighting the plants and needing our help. I would perhaps suggest is that if you three remain unseen for now, I'm happy to step out and engage them, and if they react in a hostile manner, then we can respond accordingly.
Yeah, Aaron draws the wand of true speech and he casts it on Lupin. This should hopefully make communications go smoother.
Thank you very much. And with that, Lupin will have his sword cane in hand, but in the sheath. But the gun will go away, and he will take a breath, and he will step out into the clearing. Good day,
Lupin. As you call out, the 5 creatures that you see across the clearing immediately turn and hiss, their long tongues coming from their mouth. and they scream out to you, "Who goes there?"
Lupin adopts a sort of fairly neutral expression, holds his hands up. Good day, gentlemen. My name is Lupin Malice. I am a traveler and a salesman, and I have I've found my way to your wonderful part of the world via a portal, if you would believe it. I was hoping you could give me a little bit of guidance towards the nearest point of civilization, if you wouldn't mind.
As you step forwards, Lupin, all 5 of them draw their sickles.
Stand back. How do you speak the tongue of the Nagaji?
I will be, and Lupin will take a step back, seeing the sickles drawn. I will be upfront with you. I have a limited ability to use some magic, and I used it to cast a spell that would allow me to communicate with you. I wish to highlight that my intentions are not hostile, and that I would rather speak with you than fight.
They clearly look slightly confused about this, and they draw together slightly and begin having a conversation, keeping several wary eyes on you.
Lupin Malice, are you alone?
I am not. I bring several fellow travelers with me. I bring a bodyguard, as I always do when traveling to any part of the world. I bring my court jester, and I
bring. Wilhelm pops his head up.
Hey,
and I bring a powerful magician.
How do you find yourselves in the jungle of Nagajor?
We are able to create portals using very powerful cards, such as this one, and Lupin produces the Paladin card from within his jacket.
Do you mean us harm? Where are your compatriots?
Yes, we mean you no harm, as I'm sure you will understand. We were treating this encounter with caution. You outnumber us, after all. I wish to engage you in speech before combat. If we wished to attack you, we would have attacked you with the element of surprise.
If you mean us no harm, then we will sheathe our weapons and we can parley. We have important business to finish here. Wanderers, strangers, can provide helping hands in the matters of Nagajor. Show yourselves.
And Lupin nods and beckons sort of over his shoulder to the others to come out of the bushes.
no one comes out.
Yeah, you've gone back through the portal.
Aaron steps up behind Lupin.
Malachi steps up next to Lupin.
Wilhelm steps up to the side next to Aaron.
We are the Scale Seed Order. We ourselves are Scale Seed Nagaji. Who are you and why are you here?
Are they speaking common?
No.
We are, my name is Lupin Malice. These are my compatriots. This is Malachi.
Malachi raises a hand, nods his head.
This is Wilhelm.
Hi.
And this is Aaron.
And Aaron kind of nods his head.
As to why we are here, we are travelers, we are adventurers, and we come seeking more of these cards. And again, he sort of displays the Paladin card. We have reason to believe there may be one in the vicinity of this region. You don't happen to have seen or heard of one?
You see the Nagaji share suspicious glances with each other.
We are performing a ritual as a great monster threatens the very existence of Nagajor. Are you familiar with our ways? Our ways of the Naga?
Question, are we?
So rolling over your society checks, you are aware that in Nagajor, as I said, this Ophidian matriarchy, and the word Ophidian relates to serpentine traits, if you like. Loyal to the Nagas, who themselves rule this land. The main person who's speaking to you says,
This region is set in a volcanic range in this dense jungle, but we are threatened by a vampiric threat named Kanijo.
Ooh.
He has been feeding on the essence of those who live here. At first slowly, travelers, but now his hunger grows. We have decided to tackle this problem head on. Are you here because of the threat of Kanijo?
Not specifically, no, but it would certainly appear that there seems to be a theme that the areas we travel to are somewhat blighted by a particular and imminent threat, as this would be the third such region we have traveled to where there is an imminent threat that requires dealing with, so it is entirely possible that whatever force brought us here intends for us to meet this threat.
Tell us, are you capable in combat?
Lupin very quickly turns to Malachi. Don't say a word, Malachi. Yes.
We don't understand them. What do you mean?
All I can hear is...
Yes. We very definitely haven't killed any dragons.
Do your friends speak the TN language?
I am afraid they do not. No, is the only reason I am able to speak the language is through magical means.
Allow us a minute.
and you see their hands suddenly come together, and this green magic energy begins flowing out of them again. And as he turns back to you, Lupin, he then speaks in common.
Would Taldane be a more preferable language?
Yes, thank you very much. As we appreciate your graciousness for engaging us in a language we can all understand.
I feel that parley would be useful further. A great danger resides in this jungle.
Perhaps it would be advisable to do what we need to do here and perhaps travel to an area of perhaps more safety.
Yes.
And you hear all of them start,
Yes, safety, safety.
right, Chris?
There used to be a thing at school that if you did a fart or something, you had to say safety after it.
What? To make sure it wasn't a shart? Or?
It's just something that you had to say.
Is this Chris or is this Malachi?
This is Chris.
The line gets blurry sometimes.
It really does.
Sorry.
Come sit with us. Ask your questions and we shall give you our answers.
And so Lupin will lead the way and we'll walk up to them.
Yeah, Aaron will join.
And the Nagaji sit down within the jungle and sit face to face with you.
Lupin will take a seat and we'll look at the nearest one to it. Says, this Kanijo, you mentioned it was a vampiric presence. So would you do me the favor of explaining further?
We are the last of a band of scale seeds who remain. We are using our magic to infuse the rice plants that surround the clearing. We fear that this won't last, but if we can make it through the night, we need to call the Kanijo to us so we can learn more about its power. It is a greater and more powerful threat than we have ever faced in Nagajor for many centuries. The magical power this vampire has is beyond our own. We feared it was a Naga gone astray, but it is much worse. It is an undead spirit Naga, an abomination to our nation's fundamental traditions. We fear that Kanijo is a Jiangxi vampire, killing his victims one by one.
Can I sense motive on the main Nagaji.
Sure,
is.
yeah, if you roll secret perception.
Secret perception.
Can I also roll for sense motive using lie to me and substituting the perception check for a deception check?
You sure can. Wilhelm and Malachi, both of you are pretty sure that these guys are not lying to you, that they are telling you the truth.
Are they telling, I mean, I'm digging in here a little bit. Are they telling the truth in the fact that it's really dangerous? Or do we see anything like a slip of the tongue? Are they actually scared of it? Or are they're sort of in cahoots? Because the way that was talked about was that they were trying to summon it almost.
I mean, without going too much into sense motive itself, I can tell you that the words that they speak are true.
Okay.
That this is what's happening and this is why they are doing it.
Okay, cool.
So this creature, you say it is a Yang Shi. Is this what we may know in Taldor as a vampire of sorts?
Yes, a vampire. Undead abomination.
And the ritual you are carrying out, to what ends? To what ends do you believe this will assist you in dealing with a vampire?
It is our belief that the Jiangxi vampire is repulsed by rice. We infuse the rice plants to create repulsion. We should be safe within the ring of these plants. Should Kanijo appear.
Interesting. That is a new one on me. And Lupin actually visibly pulls a notepad from his pocket and writes that down.
I thought it was onions.
Garlic, you idiot.
Oh, God.
Your friend is an idiot.
It's a vampire, not French.
When was
You notice
this?
they've all got chains of onions around their necks.
Are they riding bicycles?
Yes.
Little black and white stripy jumpers on.
Yes.
They don't sound too French.
When was this spirit last seen?
2 days previous, another farmer from the Nagajo region was killed. His body a husk, drained of all blood.
Do you know of any other victims that there was? Any other strangers come by this way?
There have been many victims over the months, but it seems that recently there has been an acceleration in the number of deaths. At first we believed them to be natural causes, but now we have learned it is far worse. It is an undead Naga, which shames and horrifies us. The magical power this creature wields, we fear more.
And you'll excuse me, as I'm afraid my knowledge of the Naga is somewhat limited. In Taldor, his vampires are fearsome creatures that require very specific tools or scenarios to actually destroy them. If we were to engage this Kanijo in combat, would we require a wooden stake or some silver? Or I ask this as a man who has many, many, many tools at his disposal.
A collector of sorts. There are 2 important pieces of information relating to a Jiangxi vampire. The first is that they have difficulty spotting you if you keep your mouth and nose covered and hold your breath.
Interesting.
The second is that if they are destroyed, unless a significant amount of glutinous rice is scattered over the body, it will rise again within a minute of his destruction.
Within a minute?
Yes.
That is interesting.
That's so cool. But
That
also
is-
very scary.
Yes,
That is quite scary.
Good to know. We should perhaps consider. We may have to, if we do tackle this Kanijo, we may need to ask you for the location of some rice. Is we don't want to have to fight this thing multiple times, after all.
Are you suggesting you will help us wait for the Kanijo?
As much as it is not our intention to get involved in local conflicts, it seems that the conflicts find us. I believe it is probably not unreasonable to expect that if things have accelerated recently, is that could very well be related to the magical powers of a Harrow card or similar.
Lupin, don't forget about the whole poisoning the hearts of the virtuous. Please. My heart doesn't want to be poisoned.
Any help you give us would be appreciated. You should stay with us for protection, for once the sun sets, Kanijo hunts. We are but a few hours from this time. We came here to face Kanijo, to learn about him, yes, but hopefully to defeat him. Few live in this place, but after the troubles, we came to help. What feeds nightly upon them is more than we were prepared for. Kanijo is beyond an atrocity. We had feared he was one of us, but spurned by death to feast upon the breath of the living, we had no idea he was once one of our glorious leaders, a Naga. We are here to report on these developments, but help us survive the night, and your place in the world beyond would surely grow the grander for your aid.
Indeed. Thank you very much for your aid. If you do not object, I would like to discuss this in private with my friends. Whilst I do not object to offering our help, I should not offer all of our help without at least consulting the group. I'm sure you will understand.
We understand, Lupin Malice. If you permit it, we shall return to our ritual to aid in the magical capabilities of the rice.
Thank you kindly. If you could perhaps give some consideration to where we may get hold of a large quantity of rice, should it be required, that would also be much appreciated. I will leave you to your rituals while we discuss our next moves. Thank you.
We can provide the rice. My colleague will retrieve it for you whilst you discuss your plans. What I can also ask is if you have magical or survival abilities, you could aid us in the last few hours before sundown in preparing the ring of rice plants.
This would require some survival, farming law, or nature religion checks. And each of you can perform this check, and by doing so would help bolster the magic energy of the rice plants.
With that, Lupin will usher the others sort of along to the other side of the rice circle, and once the others sort of all arrive, Lupin says, "Wilhelm, I understand your concerns is regarding the reading of the snakebite. I believe it is. I believe we would be foolish to dismiss the potential that this may be a ruse, but I also may offer an alternative reading. If the snakebite is about the corruption of that which is good, could this perhaps be from the Nagaji's point of view? Is that this Kanijo, or whatever it is a corruption of their faith, of what they see and what they believe. So that is the corruption at hand here. It would certainly make sense, considering the potential involvement of a Harrow card in this scenario.
Listen, I don't know, man. It could be.
I'm here to hit things.
Yes. No,
Good impression.
yeah, very good impression.
Well, you saw him, Will. They look trustworthy enough.
I mean, what Lupin said is actually quite possible. The snakebite does have a second meaning, which does not come up often, but in a reading, if it is misaligned, then the card can mean a new friendship or a discovery. It's a very rare occasion in which this even applies. I mean, yes, it could be, but I was just going with the most common interpretation of the card.
As I say, not incorrectly, we would be foolish to dismiss the potential for deception altogether. I'm certainly not suggesting we let our guard down entirely, but he's certainly on the face of things. They outnumber us. They certainly had me outnumbered to start with and did not attack. We should at least offer them that much.
That does seem fair to me, yes.
Something you said, Mr. Malice, that, it seems that wherever we go, there are these strange evils or creatures that the Harrow card has attracted or created, or I don't exactly know what's happening, but we can't discount that this doesn't seem like a coincidence. This keeps happening to us, so I think if we're looking for another card, the logical place would be to start with this presence that's terrorizing, menacing this community. They seem like farm folk, I think that they need our help.
Agreed. Malachi?
I think your interpretation's right.
It appears we are agreed. It would appear we are about to become vampire hunters.
How cool is that?
Everybody roll religion checks.
A natural 10 for 27. That's not good.
22 for Aaron.
Natural 9 for 23.
23 for Malachi as well.
Lupin, you and you alone know, with your wealth of knowledge, that aligning with what the Nagaji told you is that rice itself is often viewed with revulsion by vampires, but that the minions they often employ do not share these weaknesses.
Okay, that's good to know. Actually, would I be able to do a recall knowledge on a Jiangshi? Is that something I could do based on what I've been told and what Lupin would know?
Sure, yeah, that's going to be a secret religion check.
Yep, no problem.
Lupin, you've rolled your secret check. Mm-hmm. You're not quite sure, but you feel that they might be weak to poisons themselves.
I'm afraid I know little to nothing about this one. I recall from somewhere, a book I read many years ago, is something around poison damage, but bearing in mind the card we're looking for is the snake bite, I suspect that may be a little bit of erroneous knowledge.
And you look over to the Nagaji and you see them performing this ritual. And as I said to you, that you are able to assist in this with the knowledge that you have, is that because vampires are repulsed by the rice, you are able to aid each of you if you want to and spend the remaining few hours before sundown in the preparation of these rice plants. If you would like to do so, it's going to be a farming law or survival check, a nature check, or a religion check, and they are increasing levels of difficulty. So survival, farming law, nature, religion get progressively harder.
I could try a nature check.
I could try survival.
I could try
Survival,
any of them.
Okay. You can try any of them.
I will try the easiest one.
Okay, that would be survival. So let's start with Lupin. So it is going to take a few hours for you to do that. So if there's anything else you want to do, then I would suggest that maybe you do that now.
Yeah, I've got nothing else I want to do, so I'm happy to start rolling checks.
Okay, let's go. So Lupin, go ahead and roll your nature check, I think you said.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that's a natural 6 for 23. I've literally not rolled over a 10 all session.
Okay, I can send. Well, I tell you that is a fail, Lupin. If you wish to hero point it, you can.
I think we're going to be fighting a vampire in a little bit, so I'm going to save my hero points.
Okay. Wilhelm, you said survival, I believe.
Yes. It's natural 6 as well for 22.
22 is a fail.
Or whoever rolls next, if they get a 6. 6,
We're not doing very well here, boys.
We're gonna know what Malachi sings next then.
That's a natural 10. That's for 26 total.
26 is a success. And Malachi,
24.
24 is survival is also a success.
Excellent news.
If you can just place yourselves around the map at whatever rice plant you want to be at, that would be good.
Malachi starts singing to the plant.
So you spend the remaining few hours before sundown with this aid rice ritual, each of you trying to infuse additional power into these rice plants within the jungle clearing. Unfortunately, only 2 of you are able to aid in that process. It takes several hours as the sun goes down over the Naga region. The sounds of the jungle eerily begin to fade. The Nagaji have set up various torches, so the circle you are in is well lit. But looking through the vegetation, shadows are playing tricks with your mind. The Nagaji themselves are spread out, aiding with the various rituals and making their checks. And the leader of this group, the Scale Seed Order, call out to you again.
I fear that Kanijo is close. Can you sense him?
I'm going to assume we don't have any exceptional sense as such, but I guess the general vibe would probably...
Everybody roll perception checks.
Ooh.
Oh, rolled off the 20. 24 for Malachi.
23 for me.
Oh, they are very low rolls.
Natural
25.
5 for 26 for Lupin.
That was a natural 3, a natural 5, a natural 2, and a natural 7.
It's
Get him out
thick
the way.
jungle.
Get him out the way.
It is thick jungle and thick vegetation, and although the heat of the jungle day has dissipated, the fact that you can no longer hear the insects is foreboding. Because out of the trees, you hear a rustling as around the jungle clearing, you see 3 huge plant-like creatures that look like this.
Oh.
Come shuffling out of the jungle.
Giant flytrap things.
One to the east, one to the west, and one to the south. I need everybody to roll for initiative!
Oh my god. I roll 17 on the initiative for 39.
Oh, fuck, a natural 5 again. 26.
A 15 for 38.
Okay.
I didn't get to roll. 3. That's even worse. I'm
So
still
highest
bottom.
was Malachi, next was Wilhelm, then Lupin, then Aaron. As these creatures come shuffling into view around the rice plants in the jungle clearing. First up, though, is Malachi Bordello.
Oh my gosh. Turning
Arm
around.
yourselves.
Have we mentioned what they look like? Shall I
Yeah, by all means, go ahead
Shall I
and
describe what they look like? These multi-headed, but basically Venus flytraps, I guess.
Yeah.
Bigger teeth.
These aren't the same creatures we saw before, were they, Craig, in terms of
No, the Opali.
jungle? Yeah.
No, these are very
they?
different. These are much bigger. They are huge creatures, each of them, with these many snapping green heads with very sharp, long teeth.
Okay. Malachi will start off with a little song, as he always does, and will cast Inspire Courage, because they look like they don't have any eyes, so I don't know how they can be scared of us. So we'll cast Inspire Courage, singing a little bit of Corn, because that's what he's in his mind.
A classic in our region.
And then he grabs his guitar and throws out a phase bolt from the end of it, and is going to attack the creature behind him. Oh my gosh, 27 to hit.
27 is a miss, Malachi.
I will use a hero point on that.
Ooh!
For a 30 to hit.
30 is a hit.
Oh,
Hey, here's my damage. 18 points of piercing damage.
Okay, the fly trap takes the damage.
And that's my turn.
Next up in the initiative order is the fly trap. So there are 3 of these again, these 3 huge surrounding this jungle clearing. Maybe someone can take a screenshot that they can share to the Discord, or at least have in the back pocket ready.
Yep, done.
This fly trap to the south, the southwest almost, shuffles up towards 2 of these plants, and with these vine creepers whips out at the rice plants themselves for its second action and destroys one of the rice plants. And with its third action, whips out at another one of these rice plants and destroys it right in front of the Nagaji. Next up is Wilhelm Krongard.
Save the corn.
It's rice.
Wilhelm is kind of looking around and seeing one of these creatures close in on the group, and sees another of these creatures coming toward Malachi, who just shot something from his guitar, and he draws Sidiserax.
Ooh!
And as he does, he remembers, oh shit, where's Aaron? And he turns around and sees a third of these creatures being very close to Aaron, 10 feet away, and rushes toward it, kind of in between the two. And for his third action, he's gonna try to kind of swipe at the creature, trying to deal some sort of damage with a snagging strike.
But Wilhelm goes toe to toe with the giant fly trap. I don't think we need to worry about its names for this one. Wilhelm, go ahead and roll to hit as you stand between Aaron, a rice plant, and the creature.
Oh, I saw the 20. No, that's a natural 2 for 28.
That is a miss, Wilhelm.
I just want to I just want to point out my last 50 rolls had 0 net 20s, 5 net 1s, which is also my most rolled number.
Jesus Christ.
A mean and a median of 9.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
Thank you, Wilhelm. That is your turn. Next up is the creature right in front of you, Wilhelm.
Yes.
So this one is going to shuffle down to the south a little bit,
Triggering.
which would
Wilhelm's-
trigger reactive strike.
Yes, Wilhelm's
Would you like to go
reactive
ahead
strike.
and take your reactive strike?
Yes, I would. And I would like this one to hit, please.
Try not to roll a natural 2 again then.
Alright, I'm gonna do my best. This is a natural 15 for 41.
41 is a critical hit.
Yes!
Come on, Sidiserax.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, quite low
Not bad.
damage. It's okay. It's 46 points of damage.
46 is good, but you notice that not all of it goes through.
Ooh. The creature is also off guard until the start of my next turn.
Okay, does it stop its movement, Vil?
No, it only stops interact actions.
Okay, because as you hit the creature, Your Sidisarac's blade cuts into one of these green plant-like heads, but as it does so, a vine comes whipping from behind it towards you with its reaction and attempts to hit you, Wilhelm, with a 36 to hit.
Hits.
Not bad damage. You take 27 points of damage, a mix of piercing and acid. You are also immediately grabbed.
Are you sure this time it's immediately?
I am sure this time.
Okay.
So you are grabbed by the creature, Wilhelm. Give yourself the grabbed condition, but with its first action, it does complete its move. And then with its second and third actions, it whips out and destroys 2 of the rice plants.
Right.
Next up, it's the fly trap to the north, nearest to Malachi and Lupin. This one shuffles up, and as it goes to strike the rice plant to the north, nearest to Lupin, you think that you could, if you like, as a reaction, sort of body yourself in front of the rice in order to stop the hit and have it hit you instead. But that choice is up to you.
Yeah, I beefed the roll to enhance that one, so I don't even really know if it's worth it. With that said, I don't have anything else I can spend my reaction on this round, so... No, 27 points on Wilhelm was a fairly hefty hit, and I don't want to be taking any more. Bearing in mind, we're likely to have a second stage to this fight. I don't want to do it, so no.
Okay, so the creature whips out and destroys the rice plant nearest to you. Malachi, the plant that is nearest to you, you will also have that option to body the hit if you want to.
No, I would not.
Okay, so the plant whips down and destroys the 6th rice plant, but that is its turn. It is the Nagaji's turn. This one, who is kind of on the side of Aaron and Wilhelm, is going to step up towards the giant fly trap with sickle drawn for its second action, and then strikes down at the plant with a 23 to hit and misses. The Nagaji, which is nearest to the southwest's turn, draws sickle, steps forward, and attempts to strike with the sickle as well. Ooh, with a natural 20!
Yes.
Should have named these guys. I'm glad no one asked. Right, so here's the damage. Steve deals 12 points of slashing damage as the sickle cuts into it. Lupin Malice, round 1. You are up. You are toe-to-toe with this fly trap, deciding not to take the hit.
Yep, so first thing Lupin will do is draw his sword cane. Second thing, he will attempt to exploit vulnerability on this creature immediately in front of him. So that is a natural 7 for 30.
That's a success.
Yep, its highest weakness is fire, 10. So worth noting.
Do you tell your comrades?
Yes, I will. I will share that amongst the group.
Okay.
So Lupin will then, with his third action, will take a strike at the creature.
Okay, roll to hit.
Oh, that was a good time to roll well. That's a natural 19.
That is a 42 to hit, and that is a critical hit, Lupin.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. That is...
Critical. Nice.
That is 32 points of damage. There's various bits and pieces. I don't think that includes the additional fire damage as well. And then also, from the Impactful rune, on a critical hit, I can choose to force the target to succeed at a DC 27 Fortitude save, or be pushed 5 feet away from me. I would like to get the creature to attempt that save, please.
Okay, here comes your save. That's a 34.
Yeah, that's fine. Passed.
Okay, as a reaction, my creature is going to whip out with one of these vines, again spinning out the one that hit Wilhelm. Here comes the roll to hit. Oh. That's a 39 to hit.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
Okay, here's your damage. I'm rolling rocks. That's 28 points of damage. I've given my plant that damage. Yeah, 28 points of damage, and you are also now grabbed, Lupin.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. That's turn.
Okay, thank you very much. Next up, stood next to Wilhelm, grabbed Wilhelm, is Aaron's spoke point.
Quick question before we go.
Sure.
Have you dealt the damage to the plant in front of me? Because it says perfectly fine after eating a fat crit.
Yes.
Okay. Shit. Fuck. Okay, go on.
I'm
Aaron,
just going to check for you, Wilhelm. Hang on. Yep.
Oh my god.
We might be in trouble here.
Yes.
Aaron is going to cast Unraveling Blast at the creature that has Wilhelm grabbed. Can it please roll a will save?
Not a great roll. 21.
There's a fail. So here is the damage. 42 points of mental damage to the plant.
It's mental damage, is it?
Yes.
Oh no.
Aaron, it seems to have no effect on the creature whatsoever.
Shit.
Dang.
Well, okay. But my blood magic activates and I become concealed as Aaron starts flickering in and out of reality. And then finally I'm going to cast Winning Streak on Wilhelm, so he will gain the Quickened condition, and if anyone scores a critical attack hit, then they will also become Quickened for 1 round, and so on and so forth.
An ally within 20 feet, just so we are clear. Okay, is that turn, Aaron?
Yes.
It is the Nagaji's turn, this one to the west, who calls out and says, "We must protect the rice! Kanijo is coming!" The Nagaji draws his sickle, strides forwards, and charges and attempts to strike with a 26, which is a miss. There's 3 more of the Nagaji to go. This one, who is next to the grabbed Wilhelm, who attempts to strike with the drawn sickle with a 30 to hit, which does hit it, and deals minimum damage, 5 points of damage. And at the bottom of round 1, it is the final Nagaji's turn, who does have enough movement speed. Does he have enough movement speed? Yes! Who can draw sickle, run over, and try and take down this plant as well with a sickle. With a natural 20!
He
Laying
becomes
it.
Quickened.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Quick.
Yes.
As the
snakes
Winning
can
Streak
fight.
shoots to him.
And deals 12 points of damage. So the Nagaji is quickened. And that is round 1. So round 2, it is Malachi's turn.
He will continue to inspire courage on everybody. And for his next couple of actions, he will take his keytar and shoot out a shadow blast from the end of it, which will be fire damage.
Okay.
And I will need a reflex save from the creature to the north of Malachi, please.
Okay.
Nice and low.
My creature rolls its reflex save, and that is a 20. Very low roll.
Which is a critical failure. It is going to take double this fire damage.
Oh my god.
Which
Malachi
isn't enough.
finally doing some
58.
damage.
Come on, good stuff.
Good roll.
28. So 56 points of fire damage.
All right. Thank you, Malachi.
And that will be Malachi's turn.
Fire burning some of these crispy vines off its back.
Ours is not feeling good, apparently, Kimone, so it is doable.
Yeah, come on, pick up the pace, mate.
Shit, Aaron, they're doing way better than us.
Thank you, Malachi. It is the creature to the south's turn. This one is going to shuffle up towards the rice plant, and it's going to whip out for its second action, destroying
do
it.
Don't
No
you
one
do
to
it.
protect it, and with its third action, it shuffles up to the next rice plant. That is its turn. It is Wilhelm, a grabbed Wilhelm Krongard's turn.
Yes, and him being grabbed doesn't seem to bother him that much.
Liar.
As he it's just grabbing him by the horn. As he enters his dueling stance and tries to hit another snagging strike against the plant creature closest to him. I saw the 19 with a natural 3. What the fuck is going on? You know what? Just because I'm pissed off, I'm gonna re-roll
That's a
this
hit,
one with
Wilhelm.
It's a hit.
Is it a hit? Sure thing. Okay.
Inspire courage, mate. Inspired.
Well, is he still off guard?
No.
Then that is a hit. Still, that is a hit.
Oh my fucking god. That's brutal. Okay.
Inspire courage helped you there.
Yes. Malachi,
Doing
thank
things.
you. Have a
Getting
hero
better at
point.
D&D.
This is Malachi's fight. He's been waiting 22 episodes to be
Yes.
useful in combat, but here we go.
20 points of damage.
You hit it, Wilhelm, and most of that goes through.
Yes, and for his second of 4 actions, he is going to attempt a second strike. Who would have thought? But now that the creature is hit, it becomes off guard again until the start of Wilhelm's next turn.
Yeah, go for it.
A 26 against an off guard plant is still 1 off, I believe.
Don't you guess my AC, but that is a miss.
Okay, for his third action, Wilhelm is going to try to feint the creature so that it gets debuffed for its next attack against him.
Okay.
That's wow! Now I roll the natural 18. That's a 42.
That is a critical success.
So now the creature has a -2 to all of its attack against me in its next turn.
Just against you.
Just against me, yes.
Okay, good to know.
And for his fourth action, Wilhelm, I don't want to make a -10 attack here. I really don't.
No? Sure?
But I don't
But you're
see
going to.
I don't see another thing to do here. So
It
I'm
is
just
off guard.
going. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna roll
Natural
the net 20.
Natural 20. Here it comes.
Yeah,
Lucky
it's-
streak. Lucky streak.
It's going to come. Here, look at this. Just look at this. Oh my fucking.
Oh!
It's a
Oh,
dirty
it's a
20.
That's a miss, Wilhelm.
That was a 3, a 4, and a 5 for my 3 attack rolls this turn, just to keep this on record.
And in fact, I forgot to use my reaction, which I will use with a 32 to hit.
Which does not hit since Wilhelm is in his stance.
Ah, okay. All right. It is that creature's turn, and it's going to release its grab upon you, and it's going to shuffle down towards the next rice plant.
Reactive strike.
Go for it.
Yes.
An off guard
If I-
fly trap.
Let me crit this one, please. Jesus Christ, please, please, please. Natural 19 for 45.
That's a critical hit.
God is real, guys. God is real.
And he hates snake plants.
Yes. That is a total of another 42 points of damage, and Wilhelm becomes quickened again.
Yep, that lucky strike passes back from our friend at the south.
Okay.
Because the Nagaji has kept the effect alive.
But you crit it already, right?
Yeah, it
Oh,
goes
is-
back.
Yes,
back and
but
forth.
as long as I keep critting it, I keep being quickened. As
Yeah.
long as someone has the effect on them, and since the NPC has it, it can keep going back to me.
All right. Sounds good.
Perfect.
First action, moves. Second action, destroys the rice plant. Third
Oh my God,
action,
no.
strikes out at the Nagaji on its second attack penalty
Oh.
with its third natural 20 of the night.
Christ.
That is a critical hit from the fly trap. Here comes the damage. 50
Oh my
points of
gosh.
damage.
Wouldn't the reactive strike stopped it from moving, or did you have?
No,
sorry, you
no,
moved
that's
after
only
that.
against interact actions, so
I see.
spells and drawing items and stuff.
Okay. It
You're
is the
thinking to stand still, Maddie.
fly
Yeah,
trap
I am.
turns to
That's
the
the monk
north. The one that's nearest to Lupin and Malachi, so the pieces are very much split at the moment, but these rice plants are getting low, and this fly trap shuffles over for its first action. Second action, no one to guard it, destroys the rice plant. And with its third action, shuffles over to the next rice plant. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these plants left, rice plants. And it's the Nagaji's turn. Oh, it's a bit of bleed damage I've got to take. I'm sure giant fly trap is not taking bleed, is it?
Yeah, sappy, innit?
It's
got sap,
chlorophyll.
bro.
Yeah.
Chlorophyll.
Fine, I'll take the bleed damage. And here comes the recovery check.
Oh,
That's
that's
7.
good.
I love that we're
Fails.
surprised that Craig is not getting the 25% chance he needs.
So Nagaji's turn, the one that's near this creature that Wilhelm's been critting over on the east side of the map, and he raises his sickle against the fly trap and swings down and misses, and then goes again
Oh,
and
Yay.
hits this time with a natural 19. Here comes the damage, and maximum damage for him. That's 8 points of damage, and he's going to crit fish and fails. Okay. And it's another one of the Nagaji's turn. This one is behind to the south where all these plants have been cleared out. He's going to run over and take an attack with the sickle. With a natural 2 misses, and then with its second attack, another 2. So I've been hot and then I've been cold. Lupin, you are to the north where one of these creatures has been badly hurt by Malachi's spirit blast, whatever it was. You are still 5 foot away from it. What do you do? Oh, and you're grabbed still, of course.
oh, am I still grabbed? Because it didn't do anything.
Oh, it didn't redo the grab?
It didn't
Okay, you are no longer grabbed.
Cool. Okay. I've got 2 really good options. I'm gonna go for the spectacular one. Well, I say spectacular, the one that lets me roll more dice. Lupin is sort of starts as if he's about to attack the one in front of him, and then sort of out the corner of his eye just catches a glance of the 2 over to the sort of south of him being a little bit closer together, and sort of in one smooth motion is tosses with the juggler card, tosses his sword cane up in the air, and reaches into a pocket and quickly grabs a scroll, and he starts reading. And as he starts reading, the air starts to get hot as sparks start to fly, and he casts Fireball
Yeah.
on the 2.
We've had not many of these.
No, absolutely, and we've fought plenty of plants, and this is the first time I've remembered to actually cast it. I prepare this every day, and I forget to use it.
Starts reading the incantation. I didn't ask how big the room is.
Yeah. We're in a rainforest. I'm about to create a huge wildfire here. So Lupin casts Fireball in an area that will catch the 2 plants, but won't catch any of the friendlies or any of the corn.
Okay, so reflex saves, I believe.
Yes, DC 31
so this
reflex
is the right-hand
save, please.
one. That's a fail. And for the second one, that is going to also be a fail.
Excellent. This is only a level 3, so it won't be a ton of damage, but it is fire damage. So
Okay, well, damage.
No, that's all right. That's 22
Yes,
points
decent.
of fire damage to both
One
of
of the
those.
plants, the one that the one that Wilhelm was attacking, that's nearest to this string of Nagaji, is looking very worse for wear, Lupin.
Excellent. Okay, drawing and casting, that is my turn.
Okay, thank you very much. Aaron, spoke point.
Aaron would like to, having seen Malachi cast Shadow Blast, he's like, oh yeah, why didn't I think of that? And he spends an action to extend the reach of his spell, and then in a burst shapes it to erupt in a burst that is going to catch both of the plants at the south, and he will shape it to be fire as well.
Okay.
Good idea, Aaron. What a fantastic, unique idea that is.
Yes. I learned from the best, Mr. Malice.
Yes, Lupin, I'm sure no one has ever thought of using Fireball offensively.
Hey, look, I didn't.
There you go. So if that can be a reflex save.
Yep, okay, the one on the right first. With a natural 19 this time for 36.
Yes, that's very agile plant. Dodges.
Okay.
And that's a success.
Second plant was a 25.
That's a fail.
Okay, roll damage.
Here's the fire damage. 24 points of fire damage.
Okay, so one of the plants, the one that Wilhelm was attacking on the east side, that one is now dead. The one to the south, though, is very much not.
Okay, that is my turn.
Nagaji's turn, the one nearest to Lupin, where a plant is threatening at the north. He's going to step over next to Lupin. Excuse me, and strikes down with a sickle. He's very polite and gets a hit with a 33 as the sickle
lovely
comes
snake.
down. Does max damage for 8 points of slashing damage and goes again with his second attack. almost a crit. 25 to hit is a miss. This time it's the Nagaji over to the east. This one is not really near a plant or anything, so he's going to head over to the north. He has got the movement, and so will strike with his sickle. This is the one that's just been hit, so he's going to hope to hit it again, and misses. Got a second attack, though, and critically misses. And then to see out the bottom of round 2 is the final one, who is quickened. So this one can run over to the north, and will also attempt hacking down this one that's looking weaker with the sickle for its second action with a natural 2, with its third action for a natural 17, which does hit and does minimum 5 points of damage, and it has got a fourth attack, so it will take that fourth attack and hope for a nat 20 and fails. It is the top of round 3. It is Malachi's turn.
Malachi will sustain Inspire Courage because it has helped out this round so far, and this one at the top's looking rather sickly, right? So we'll use this time a phase bolt cantrip out of the end of his Kitar. Oh my god. I will use a hero point on that as I roll a natural 1.
Okay, Malachi, natural 1. Delicious.
Thank
Your
you.
last hero point.
No, I've used 1, and I had 1 for my backstory and 1 for a very
funny
Oh,
joke.
you had 3 in this session.
I
I
had
should not
3
be
in this
so
session.
generous. Okay, go ahead and re-roll your check. Please,
Oh, this
Malachi.
one. Oh, real well using a hero points. There we go.
26
For
is
26.
still a miss, I'm afraid.
And that is my turn as the phase bolts come in and out and completely miss.
Flytrap's turn to the south. This one is stood by one of the remaining rice plants down there, and with its first action will destroy the rice plant. The Nagaji looking around, looking fearful as the magic in the remaining 4 rice plants evaporates. And the Nagaji, in excited, nervous voices, call out to you and say, Kanijo is coming! Prepare yourselves! As in the middle of the jungle clearing, you see a snake-like creature pop into existence. It looks like this.
Oh my god! Doesn't it have a hero card on its forehead?
And the curtain comes down. You've been listening to Describe Your Kill, The Death of Destiny. Find out more at describeyourkill.com. Thank you to Paizo, Michael Gelfi, Creator Chord, Sirenscape, Kevin McLeod, Foundry, and Sigil Services. Get all the links on our website. This podcast uses trademarks and or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com.